5 mistakes you make on Omen. Number 1. Shrouded Step. Don't be afraid to TP as long as you are trying to improve. Pushing yourself to do these things will allow you to learn what things work. For example, use it to overwhelm the anchor when you attack a site, such as the TP gen on Ascent A, or use it to get on a box you otherwise can't get on top of. Just high low with Miska. Number 2 is Paranoia, and I was going to talk about the momentum of Paranoia, but it got patched. So instead, I'll talk about the types of flashes. Your Paranoia should probably fall into one of these types. The first flash is a kill flash. Knowing how to get kills is one of the most important things in Valorant. A kill flash is done when you use info, either through utility or sound or something else, to find an enemy's position and then flash them with the intent of killing them as a result of them being flashed. The next flash is a set flash. Set paranoias are used to control lines of space, and for instance they can do things like eliminate the need for an entry to focus their attention on that line immediately, or it can set them up for a kill on that line. We don't need info to use this flash, as the main value comes from you stopping the enemy from contesting that line. These two types of flashes are something that most flashes, if not all flashes, share with each other, but it's important that you know these two flashes and utilize these two flashes before you get creative. Third is dark cover. Selfish versus selfless is probably the biggest question that you'll probably ask with dark cover. It's good to have a balance where you're able to do the correct smokes for you and your team, but you're not locked into doing the same things every time. The word balance is up for interpretation, so to learn what this can look like, I recommend you use the types of rounds as a guideline. For instance, use bonuses as a selfish round where you can either make a solo play, or you can call over some teammates for a set play with unconventional smokes, essentially selfish for your position on the map. When I say unconventional, I don't mean random. You should have at least some sort of justification, because if that justification is wrong, you can learn from it. The more you play to learn, the more you will understand when these plays are available. Eco, certain reads on buy rounds, half buys are all just some examples. You can learn a lot from watching and copying setups from pro players. Understanding the first 3 rounds of a half is where you should start. Number 4 is from the shadows. You hold onto your ult way too much. Don't get me wrong, Omen ult isn't the greatest and doesn't have the most obvious use cases. It isn't a go button like Raze ult or an eco bridge like Chamber or Jet. Try getting a TP spot you can use on defense and one on attack for every map you play Omen, and try and call for a play that would benefit from your ult. Omen ult Heaven on Haven is probably the most notable ones you may have heard. I'll also give some quick tips about the ult. You can use it to pick up the bomb and cancel to reappear at your previous location with the bomb. You can also use it to fully counter a Cypher ult with yours, as it blocks the map. Finally, the 5th mistake you make on Omen is pathing. Pathing is something you should understand for every agent, but for controllers it's especially useful. It can drastically benefit your efficiency in rounds. This path is one of the easiest ones. It is for rushing C long on Haven. You should have set paths to exec sites. On defense, you should have paths for rotation or protocols as an anchor on a site for how to play out the enemy's exec. To be clear, I'm not saying that you should have a path for every round or that you should ignore the context in the round. Pathing is what the best case looks like and benefits you the most when the enemy has a minimal interaction with you, such as a rush. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one.